Hi everybody, welcome to the Read Aloud today. So today we are going to be reading this book called A Man Whose Name Was Not Thomas. So this book actually got saved from the library at school. See how it's written right here? It says discard. They were going to get rid of this book and throw it out, so I decided to save it and bring it home with me, give it a new place to stay on my bookshelf, and we're going to read it today and see how it is. All right. The Man Whose Name Was Not Thomas. Once, a good many years ago, there was a man whose name was not Thomas. His name was not Richard either. His name was not Bruce or Victor or Henry. His name was not Leo or Simon or Charles. In fact, his name was not even John. No, his name was something else. I wonder if they're going to tell us his name. The man whose name was not Thomas or Richard either had to earn a living just as most men do. He was not a blacksmith or a carpenter. He did not weave cloth or mend shoes. He was not a farmer or a bricklayer or a fisherman. He was something else. See this picture right here? I bet you it's a clue as to what this man does for his job. He lived in a small corner next to the big oven in the room behind his shop. His oven was not made of tin or glass or leather or paper. It was made of something else. We see right here, do we know what that's called? Brick. He's living next to an oven behind his shop in a corner made of brick. The man whose name was not Thomas or Bruce or Victor did not bake bread in his big oven. He did not bake pies or cookies, and he never even thought of baking potatoes or biscuits or squash. No, he baked something else. Well, now we know he's a baker, but what do we think he's baking right here? I wonder if we can think about that for later. And look, you see his little cat friend down there with him? When the man whose name was not Thomas had earned his living for several years, he felt that it was time for him to get married. But there was no room for him and a wife in the small corner next to the big oven in the room behind his shop. He would have to build a building with at least 4 corners and perhaps a roof as well. He would need room for a table on which to rest his elbows when he ate his dinner, and a chair on which to sit down to take off his shoes, and a bed to get out of in the morning, and even a second chair in case his wife would like to sit down to take off her shoes too. What kind of building is he going to make that has all these things in it? What sort of building should he build? We might find the answer to our question here. The man whose name was not Thomas thought long and hard, and at last he decided. He would not build a chicken coop. He would not build a tower or a barn. He would not build a watermill or a castle or a jail. No, indeed, he would not. He decided that he would build something else. See, he's drawing what he's going to build right there. Looks like a house to me. I wonder if that's what he's going to do. And he did. He did not build it out of buttons. He did not build it out of sand. He did not build it of corn cobs or ribbons or feathers or forks. No, the man whose name was not Thomas or Henry or Leo built it tight and built it well because he built it of something else. We see right here he's got these stones and wood that he's building his house out of. Now that there was a place to put a table and a chair and a bed and another chair, all that he had to do was find a wife. Do you think that's going to be an easy job? Let's see. He knew just what sort of wife he wanted. He did not want a wife with green hair or orange eyes or an extra nose growing out of her chin. He did not want a wife as big as a barrel of oil or as thin as a bundle of sticks. He did not want a wife who hated rainbows and puppy dogs or who never laughed out loud. And he certainly did not want a wife who would be hard to love. No, the man whose name was not Thomas did not want a wife like any of these wives. He wanted someone else, and he knew where to find her too, for she lived down the lane. I wonder if we're going to see this girl again. I bet you she comes back later in the story. Now, a man who is about to go courting must look clean and bright and tidy, so the man whose name was not Thomas or Simon or Charles dressed very carefully. He did not put on a dirty apron or a sweater with a hole in the elbow. He did not put on a torn jacket with 3 buttons missing. No, he wore something else, and he looked very clean and very bright and very tidy indeed when he set off down the lane to do his courting. All his animals going with him. He looks pretty sharp to me. I think so. Fortunately, the woman who lived down the lane had never wanted to live in a chicken coop or a watermill or even a jail. Very fortunately, she liked to put her elbows on the table when she ate, and she liked to sit down in a chair to take off her shoes. Even more fortunately than that, the woman who lived down the lane was very, very easy to love. Most fortunately of all, The woman who lived down the lane had never wanted to marry a blacksmith or a carpenter or a weaver or even a fisherman. She wanted to marry the man whose name was not Thomas, and she always had. There she is, she's back. So when the man whose name was not Thomas asked her to marry him, she said that she would a week from tomorrow. A week from tomorrow was not Monday or Friday or Wednesday. A week from tomorrow was not Saturday or Tuesday. It was not Thursday either, but something else. It was a very good day to get married. Let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They got married on a Sunday. The man whose name was not Thomas or even John rushed home to get ready for the wedding. After all, a man who is not a shoemaker or a farmer or a bricklayer has a special job to do any time a wedding is planned. He does not have to sweep the church, and he does not have to practice on his fiddle. He does not have to pick flowers for the altar, but he does have to do something else. So the man whose name was not Thomas did something else, and did it just beautifully, and finished doing it just in time for the wedding. What is he doing right here? Can anyone raise their hand and tell me? He's baking their wedding cake. So we're right, he's a baker and he's baking cakes. On the wedding day, there was no rain or snow or fog. There was no windstorm, and there was no thunder, and there was no hail. There was a great deal of something else, though, all golden and shining and warm, just as there should be on a wedding day. Everyone in the village came to the wedding, and when the preacher said, "Do you, Murgatroyd, Alexander, Fitzgerald, Maximilian, Abraham, Cristoforo, Ladislaw, Jeremiah, Ferdinand, Plunkett, take this woman to be your wedded wife," the man whose name was not Thomas did not say, "Maybe." And he did not say, "Certainly not." And he did not say, "I'd like to think it over a bit." No, he did not say any of these things. He said something else, and everyone in the village cheered. Did you guys hear that big, long name in there? My goodness, it's a mouthful. And so the man whose name was not Thomas, or any number of other fine names, was married, and he and his wife went to live where there were 4 corners and a roof and enough room for a table and a bed and a chair and another chair, and they are living there together still. They are not lonely, and they are not sad. They are not angry or poor or sick or frightened. No, not in the least. They are something else. What might we usually say at the end of this story? Looks to me like they're living happily ever after. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed my new Save Library book. It's a whole lot of fun to read. It gives us some great practice at looking at pictures and guessing and inferencing, which is what we call that. And my goodness, what a name this man does have, huh? So I hope you guys enjoyed the story, and I'll see you for another Read Aloud soon. Bye.